Welcome to my couch. I'm Emma Osman, and this is my real estate school review. Let's jump right into it, because we've got a lot to talk about. So I started my classes, I signed up for my classes, and I did evening classes online, which I could do in person, but I chose online because it worked better with my home and family life. I have a baby, and so he was, how old was he at the time? Oh my goodness, it's gonna take me so much. I can't go backwards. Can I go backwards? October, September, August, July, August, September, October. Yeah, so he was 9 months old. Okay, glad we got there eventually. Whew. So I started real estate school online, which I could have chosen in person, but I didn't. I chose online because at the time I had a about 9-month-old baby at home, and I wanted to stay home to be there just in case he needed me. I didn't have to, I could have gone in person, but it was right around our bedtime routine that we were doing. And luckily my sweet husband was able to just do evenings for the entire month without me. So school started, if I remember correctly, at 5:30 p.m. and ended at 8:30 p.m. So it's kind of a large chunk of time, but luckily we did get like 10-15 minute breaks or something like that. So I started July 1st. Well, July 2nd technically, but I started the beginning of July, and it was a month-long course. Oh, let me show you my books. My books. They are quite chunky, and as you can tell, well studied out of. Everything you truly need for passing your national and your state for Nevada are in these books. And schooling was really just going over these books. They would read through it. She would tell you, okay, well, this is going to be on your test, so highlight this, remember this. And so we would just read the book, and she would talk through and say, okay, highlight that, do that. But really it was just reading the book with you, which is super helpful, but at the same time it kind of, like, once you start doing it for that full month, I don't know, every day, 5 days a week for the whole month, it was just like, oh, it just felt like a lot for being read to, and I appreciated it. It helped me definitely because I was able to pass. All right, so it took me a little longer to pass because I didn't pass my state right away. So my national, the big fat one, for some reason I passed that so well, but the state took me a little bit, and I think it was because of how the questions were worded or something along that lines, where I just wasn't fully comprehending or understanding. And so this small book, which is your state, became like my Bible. Like, I had to study from it all the time, and I was waking up and studying from it, and I wrote things all over my like glass sliding door because I was just like, I need to remember this. All of it, every single thing, because I don't know what I'm missing. So I did that, and I passed both my tests, happy to say. But that was the end of September that I was able to really pass those. So beginning of July, started taking the school, doing my schooling. By end of July, I finished it. They had practice tests. They had a lot of practice tests. I think that's really what they had in abundance, and they really encouraged us to do those, which did help me in some ways, but I actually made my own Kahoots. I tried to make my own Quizlets, things like that. Like, I used other forms to help me, and it was my Kahoots that really helped me. But part of that was that I was able to memorize and pass their practice tests with the Kahoots, which helped a lot doing that. The problem, and I think the only issue with that is the fact that it is a memorizing and answering for those questions, which are different from the ones you actually take. Some of them are very similar, but they're a little different. But I still think it helped me pass. So I really appreciated the Kahoots that I made, I loved that I got to share them with other people too, and it just felt very useful. So I loved my Kahoots. If anyone wants them, let me know. I really suggest using Kahoot. And so I chose Century 21 Americana for my schooling. They were well priced. They seemed they seemed really good. They had good instructors. It seemed like I loved it. Shout out to my nighttime instructor, Maria. Loved Maria. Loved her. And I had to take a few classes for the daytime one, but I think I was already so attached to Maria at that point that I was like, this just doesn't feel the same. But I think I was just biased by that point. So I loved Maria, loved her. She was so good at helping us get through it, answering questions, taking the time to ask us if we understood everything and what we needed to know. And it was just super helpful. So Century 21 Americana was my choice of school. And I kind of, like, they sent me my books and I got right into it. I got highlighters, I got note cards, I sat down and started just highlighting and figuring out something to do. I discovered, which is not anything new for anyone else, but is definitely new for me, as introduced to me by my husband, is erasable pens and how amazing they are. I don't know, I think when I was younger, I thought of erasable pens, and it was just like, oh yeah, these pens that erase but leave smears, or like, it's not perfect, or I thought it was weird or something, I don't know. But I used these erasable pens on my books, and I loved it, because I made mistakes, or highlighted the wrong thing, or I wrote down the wrong thing, or I spelled something wrong in my rush to take notes during these classes. And so I could go back and I could correct things, or I could like just edit as I go, as I redo things. So love erasable pens. They're the new favorite thing. Anyways, so I did Century 21 Americana, their month-long course, their evening course for 3 hours. And it got me through, and I learned everything that I really needed to know. So you get your books. I did the night courses, those few hours. Where was I? Sorry, I got distracted. Let's see. So honestly, it's a lot to go over in a short span of time. It was funny, I went through like the first chapter and was like, this is not so bad. Like, I can do this. And the first unit in the beginning, it has like a key terms, and so the key terms in the beginning are like these key terms here, right? And I was like, I could do that, that's fine. And then I hit unit 2 and the key terms just got longer and longer. Each chapter, I felt like I was just like, oh, and then I would read through these key terms and be like, I don't know what that means. I have no idea what they're talking about in that. And there's a lot, and there's things that I still like will look through, and I'm like, oof, I don't know if I fully know that yet. So still learning, always adjusting. Oh yeah, real estate contracts, key terms. See, right, huge, fat key terms, fat. So it's a lot to learn, it's a lot to go through, especially in a month, which is why they make this course that you can buy and take and everything a year-long course where you can go back and you can go back to the instructors. They trade off between night and day every month. And so you have like night classes, day classes, night classes throughout the month. And it was just super helpful to know that I could always go back. Like if something happened, if I missed, because you have to get a certain amount of hours. So if you miss one class, you can take another one later. You can always learn more. And a lot of it you also study on your own. You study at home. You come prepared. And they have tests that you have to pass with them, a state and a national that you have to pass with them before you can get your certificate and your hours and everything released. And so they really try to set you up for success. And I love that. I love that they were able to help. They're always asking, oh, how can we improve? What can we do? And they mean it. Like, you can tell that they mean it. And all of this kind of builds up into what happens when you're done. So, what happens when you finish your classes, when you take your tests, even before you take your tests, you have to start looking into brokerages. And so, as I said, I went to Century 21 Americana school, which also has a brokerage. And they reached out and were like, do you want to join our brokerage? Like, let's talk about this. And so I had an interview with them. And I talked, and like, they gave me the rundown of what they do, what they offer, and I loved it. I was like, this is amazing. And I went to one other brokerage and I had an interview with them. But I didn't realize that this brokerage that I had an interview with don't really take on new agents. They want more experienced agents. And so I was like, well, that didn't really work out. And there's so many brokerages. There's so many people that I could go to, so many things that I could do. But this felt right. Which one does scare me, because rushing into a decision, not knowing all of your options, things like that, then I don't want to turn around and be like, well, this was a terrible decision. Like, I don't like it here. Or I don't like these people. But nothing's set. I'm not in some 10-year contract with them saying that I have to stay. Like, that's not what happens. But I also found that I loved it there. I loved the energy. I loved the people. I say loved, but I meant love, because I do. I'm still there. I still work with them, because I haven't been doing this long. And they are amazing to work with. They understand that as new real estate agents, sometimes you have to keep your job because you're not going to make any money in the beginning. They know that this has to be a basis of, okay, when can I work? And so they're flexible in that. They don't charge you a bunch of fees for just being with them. They don't make things really hard on you for a starting agent. And so I love the fact that they want agents to start. They want new people to join. They want to be able to help you grow and become the best that you can be. And I loved that. It was such a good experience. So, yeah, I joined the Century 21 Americana brokerage. It's the people who I did my schooling with. And that process went really well. So I finished my tests, I joined the brokerage, and now I'm starting up. And that's currently where I'm at. I did the schooling, I got my license has come in, and now I just have to get clients, which is safe to say is currently becoming the hardest part of all of this. You have your inner circle, you have all your friends and family who you talk to and tell them, oh, hey, by the way, I'm on real estate. But that is, not as easy as just like, you just don't get handed something. And I have people who say, oh, in the future, I do plan on selling or buying, and I'm totally going to use you. Or, hey, if it comes up, I will refer you. But then that's a growing seed. I'm planting seeds, but nothing is giving me fruits of money. So this is the hard part, the part where I get myself out there, the part where I do the work and I make the money. But I also have no idea what I'm doing. These books, this school, all these things, they teach you to pass your test. They do not teach you how to be an agent. So I highly recommend finding ways to learn to be an agent as well. You should look into what your brokerage has. My brokerage definitely offers things. They offer classes, they offer role plays, they offer so much help to help me get started. So does the real estate, the Realtors of the Las Vegas Realtors Association. They offer classes, they offer orientations, they teach you how to use their systems. Everyone wants to help you, but it might not come easy. So be prepared. You want to be a real estate agent. You want to be a realtor here in Nevada. You want to put in the work. You want to talk to people. You want to grow your own business. You want to be be in control of your schedule. You want to do these things? Come on in. The water's great. Come join. But it's hard work. And it doesn't just happen like that. So be prepared. Be prepared to study the books. Be prepared to take classes continually. As long as you are in this business, you're going to be taking classes. You're going to be learning new techniques, and you're going to be discovering new ways to be a real estate agent. So you just need to be prepared to be in a business where you're learning. You're never truly going to be the most experienced and best person. The most experienced and best people are the people who have continued to learn and grow and discover how to do this. And I'm hoping one day I will get there. But currently, I am stuck in this part of still learning to be a real estate agent. And I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited to learn and to grow and to get clients and to sell and buy homes. Not just houses, but homes. Places where people grow and they learn and they become and they have these experiences that shape them for their whole lives, you know? So much happens in homes. So many things happen in these houses and apartments and townhomes and condos and manufactured homes. Like, so much happens within a home. And I want to be able to sell that to people. A place where they can have a future. So, if you want that, let me know. If you know anybody, let me know. And if you want to become a real estate agent, come on. Just do it. Take the step. It'll be great. That is everything from my couch here. And if you have any questions or need to know anything, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Like and subscribe, I guess. Anyways, have a fantastic time becoming a realtor.